Do you know about predatory hegemony? Stephen.M. Walt argues that Donald Trump's second-term foreign policy represents a new grand strategy he calls predatory hegemony. This predatory hegemony has an illusion of success. Trump defenders claim that trillions in investment, wars ending, a booming economy, but Walt encounters that wars are not actually over. Investment figures are inflated or speculative, growth is uneven and disordered. This is a new model of American power, and this is not liberal hegemony. Actually, predatory hegemony treats all international relationships, including alliances and his enemy, as zero-sum transaction because it uses its dominant economic, military, and institutional power to extract concessions for both enemy and allies. While this approach may yield short-term gains, but world content, it is strategically self-defeating in a multipolar world. But ultimately, it weakens the US power and security. Predatory hegemony see the world as a zero-sum. All international relations viewed as competitive with relative gains, prioritize over mutual benefit. No distinctions between friends and enemies. Reject all norms and rules and exercise raw power. And reinforce and dominance is common word for this predatory hegemony. And transactional agreements is like what is mine and what is yours is negotiable. There is a 3 phases of US grand strategy. So first one is Cold War era time, that was benevolent hegemony applied, but that time systematically not exploited. Coercion applied, but consultation mattered. After that post-Cold War, at that time hubristic hegemony applied. That time US ignored others, but still differentiated friends from enemies. And finally Trump's era, predatory hegemony, where friends and enemies similarly treated. Normalization, coercion, transaction replaced trust as the foundation of international relations. So what are the mechanics of extraction of this theory? The extraction is treated as coercion. Tariff deployed not merely for economic goals but to pressure Brazil, force Canada and Mexico, and punish Colombia for political criticism. NATO, Taiwan and Ukraine treated as bargaining chips. Allies pressure to invest in US economy, offer access to critical minerals and accept asymmetrical trade deals. Withdrawal from many agreements and deal with Iran, militarism, prefer to maximize leverage. Also do territorial violations like threats to Greenland and Canada, Panama Canals, all the behaviors as like normal. Applying this predatory hegemony, Trump monetizing the presidency. Walt identifies an unprecedented dimensions of predatory hegemony, the personal enrichment of the leader through policy leverage. Foreign government do now give valuable asset like Qatar plane and fund in the Trump business ventures directly, purchase Trump-linked cryptocurrency, receive policy favors that coincide with personal payments. This represents what Walt calls the unprecedented monetization of the American presidency. Political submission is like public praise, loyalty displays, hierarchy reinforcement. This is a case study that where NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte praised Trump. Why this predatory hegemony will fail? Because multipolarity enables exit. They will reduce their dependence on the United States. They will lose confidence in American commitments, and that will affect in long term. As a result, China and other powers can expand their own influence, and ultimately security decline. So what central insight of this theory is that power endures when it is legitimate, institutionalized, and shared, not when power is openly predatory. Strategic implications of this theory is like a tactical adjustment. For allies or traditional partners face impossible choices between costly submission. For institution, this is a rule-based order, and for the rivals get opportunity to create their own position in the market. Finally, in one word, Walt suggests that this is an ultimate irony for the American power.